If you're a Windows user who's fed up with where Microsoft's taking the platform, Zorin OS is often one of the first Linux distros people recommend. It looks familiar, uses fewer system resources, skips the AI nonsense, and actually respects your privacy. Their mission is simple: give Windows users a Linux desktop that feels immediately usable without forcing them to learn Linux the hard way. But how well does that actually hold up in real use? Let's install it and find out. The installation process is very straightforward, taking roughly 5 minutes once you click install. Very strong first impressions. Zorin looks clean and well put together right away, with smooth animations and transitions throughout the desktop. The core edition includes 4 layout options by default, but for this video, I'm sticking with the standard Windows-like layout in dark mode. I also appreciate that Zorin lets you permanently dismiss the Pro upgrade prompt, so you can just use the core edition without feeling pressured to buy anything. The Zorin appearance menu is minimal and easy to navigate, making it quick to adjust how the system looks without digging through a ton of settings. A lot of people assume Linux means living in the terminal. With Zorin OS, that's mostly a non-issue. The built-in software store covers the majority of everyday apps, and installing software feels familiar rather than foreign. Using the default Windows-like layout, the start menu is clean and minimal. Searching for programs is fast, doesn't mix in web results, and gives you quick access to things like appearance, settings, and the software store. Even system updates are handled through a simple settings menu, without needing to touch the terminal. Snapping windows to a side or corner is also a similar experience to Windows 11. No special software needed. At idle and under a light workload, Zorin uses noticeably less memory than Windows, which helps explain why it feels responsive, even on more modest hardware. To give a quick comparison of how Zorin OS does for gaming, I ran a couple benchmarks and compared them to my results in Windows and Nobara Linux. With Hitman and World of Assassination, Zorin OS was a little behind Windows on average with Proton Experimental, but on par with Windows with Proton 9. It was still behind Nobara, but that's to be expected comparing a general purpose distro to one that's more optimized for gaming. Then in Red Dead Redemption 2, it delivers an overall smoother experience, with minimum FPS being above 60 FPS, but it still lags a little behind Windows and Nobara on average. Emulation did work for me with zero issues. PCSX2 ran at full speed, and my PS5 controller was recognized when plugging it in. The takeaway here is that Zorin OS focuses on being a stable daily desktop first, with gaming support that can vary depending on your setup. If gaming is your top priority, I've covered gaming-focused distros like CachyOS and Nobara in other videos. You might remember seeing a Pro edition of Zorin OS earlier in the video, so what do you actually get with it? While this video focuses on Zorin OS Core, the Pro edition mainly adds more desktop layouts, including ones that closely resemble macOS, Chrome OS, and other Linux desktops. Zorin also includes a curated set of alternative applications meant to replace common professional software, which Zorin says would normally add up to around $5,000 if purchased individually. Pro also gives you access to direct technical support from the Zorin team, and your purchase helps fund Zorin OS's ongoing development. If those extras sound appealing, Pro is a solid way to support the project. That said, for the vast majority of people, the free Core Edition already delivers the full Zorin experience. So should you actually switch to Zorin OS? If you're coming from Windows and want a beginner-friendly Linux distro that focuses on usability and stability, Zorin OS is a solid choice. It delivers the basics extremely well, and it feels familiar right out of the box. Because it's based on Ubuntu, software availability and driver support are exactly where you expect them to be, and its lighter resource usage can help extend the life of older hardware. If you're curious, you can always try Zorin OS in the live environment or inside a virtual machine before committing to a full install. If Zorin OS isn't right for you, that's okay. Linux is all about choice. I'm JustSomeTechie. Catch you on the next one. See you then.